Most men are terrified of a quiet room. Think about the last time you were truly alone. No music, no podcast, no scrolling, no work, just you and the four walls. How long did it take before you felt that itch, that sudden urge to check your notifications or turn on the TV just to have some background noise? We fill the void with noise because we are afraid of what we might hear if the world goes quiet. But have you ever wondered why? Why does being alone feel like a threat to the modern man? It's because when the noise stops, the truth starts speaking. And for many of us, that truth is uncomfortable. It reminds us of the goals we haven't hit, the conversations we're avoiding, and the person we've become when no one is watching. In the next 20 minutes, we aren't just talking about loneliness. We're talking about the ultimate social vacuum. We're going to explore why the most powerful men in history, the leaders, the warriors, and the deep thinkers, didn't just tolerate being alone. They hunted for it. They knew a secret that the modern world wants you to forget. A man who can sit in a room by himself for an hour without a phone or a distraction is a man who cannot be controlled. If you feel like you're losing your edge, or if the silence feels like a heavy weight, stay with me. We are going to turn that weight into armor. By the end of this video, you won't just understand solitude. You'll crave it as your primary tool for growth. You will learn to build what the ancient philosophers called the inner citadel. Part 1. The difference between loneliness and solitude. To build inner strength, we have to fix the way we speak. Most people use loneliness and solitude as if they mean the same thing. They don't. In fact, they are opposites. Loneliness is a feeling of lack. It's the feeling that something is missing, like a hunger you can't satisfy. It's the desperate need for a like, a text, or a glance from a stranger to prove that you exist. When you are lonely, you are a beggar. You are asking the world to give you value because you don't feel it inside yourself. Solitude, however, is a state of being. It is a choice. Think of it like this. Loneliness is being hungry because you have no food. Solitude is fasting because you want to master your body. One is a weakness. The other is a superpower. Most men today are starving. They look for validation from everyone. When they are alone, they feel empty because they don't know who they are without someone else watching. This is what we call external reliance. If your happiness depends on a good job from your boss or a heart emoji from a girl, you are a slave to the person giving it. You have given them the remote control to your emotions. Let's look at the Stoic emperor, Marcus Aurelius. He wasn't just a philosopher, he was the most powerful man on earth, leading the Roman Empire during plagues, betrayal, and constant war. Yet he spent his nights writing in his journals, not for an audience, not for a book deal, but for himself. He called this his inner citadel. He believed that even in a crowded palace surrounded by advisors and soldiers, a man must find a way to be alone with his thoughts to remain sane and strong. He knew that if he couldn't control his own mind in the silence, he could never lead an empire in the noise. When you choose solitude, you are telling the world, I am enough. This is the foundation of the high-status behavior we talk about on Male Psychology School. You don't need to explain yourself or fill the silence with nervous chatter because you aren't looking for a yes from anyone else. You've already given it to yourself. Part 2. The noise and the biological trap. We live in the loudest time in human history, not just in terms of decibels, but in terms of input. Your brain is being pulled in 1,000 directions every day. Every notification is a tiny voice asking for your attention, and your brain is programmed to say yes. Let's talk about the biology of why silence is so hard. We need to understand the dopamine loop. Dopamine is your brain's reward signal. Historically, it was a survival tool. It was triggered when our ancestors found a new water source, tracked an animal, or successfully protected their tribe. It was the go-get-it chemical. Today, that system has been hijacked. Big tech companies spend billions of dollars to keep you in a state of constant input. Every time you scroll, every time you see a red notification bubble, your brain gets a tiny hit of dopamine. You aren't learning, you're just reacting. When you never have output or reflection, your brain's reward system gets fried. This is why you feel brain fog. You become reactive, not proactive. You lose the ability to focus on long-term goals because your brain is addicted to the quick hit. You become like a squirrel chasing every shiny object, unable to build anything of lasting value. Being alone is like clearing the static on a radio. At first, all you hear is the fuzz. It's uncomfortable. It's boring. But if you stay there, if you don't reach for your phone, the signal starts to come through. That signal is your own intuition. It's your own goals. It's the truth of what you actually need to do with your life. This is what scientists call a boredom reset. When you allow yourself to be bored, your brain finally has the space to think creatively. Think of your mind like a muddy pond. If you keep poking it with sticks, notifications, it stays cloudy. If you let it sit still, the mud sinks to the bottom and the water becomes clear. In that clarity, you find your edge. Part 3. The social vacuum in the real world. In our previous videos, we talked about the power of silence in social settings. We talked about how the man who speaks the least often has the most power. But the real test, the final boss of silence, happens when you are by yourself. Can you handle your own company? Most men use busyness as a drug. They work 80 hours a week, or they go to the gym until they drop, or they drink until they go to sleep. They aren't doing it for growth. They are doing it because they are afraid that if they stop, they will have to face the things they don't like about themselves. Let's look at some relatable micro-solitude scenarios where most men fail. 1. The red light. You're driving and you hit a red light. It will be 60 seconds. What do? Most men reach for their phone before the car even stops. They cannot handle 60 seconds of their own thoughts. 2. The restaurant. You're waiting for a friend who is 5 minutes late. Do you sit there and observe the room, or do you bury your head in your screen so you don't look lonely to the strangers around you? 3. The elevator. You're going up 10 floors with 3 other people. Do you look at the floor numbers or your phone to avoid the awkward silence? By resisting these small urges, you are training your waiting muscle. You are telling your brain that you do not need a digital pacifier to feel okay. This is how you build that stoic presence. When you aren't desperate to escape the moment, you become the most grounded person in the room. True inner strength comes from looking at your regrets, your fears, and your shadow in the silence. Here's the secret. Once you look at them, they lose their power. Fear grows in the dark and the unknown. When you bring it into the light of your own conscious attention, you realize it's just a thought, not a fact. A man who has faced his own demons in a quiet room is not afraid of a difficult boss, a hard breakup, or a social challenge. So he has already won the hardest fight, the fight against his own ego. Part 4, the 7-day solitude protocol. So, how do we actually build this inner citadel? You don't need to quit your job and move to a cave. You need a system. Here is the Male Psychology Skool 7-day protocol for building your armor. Level 1, the morning fast, days 1 to 2. For the first hour of your day, your phone stays in another room. No news, no texts, no music. Wake up, make your bed, have your coffee, and just be. This sets the tone for the day. You are the captain of your ship, not a passenger reacting to the world's emails. Level 2, the silent commute. Days 3 to 4, turn off the radio, turn off the podcast, drive or walk in total silence. Observe the world around you. Notice the trees, the people, the architecture. You'll be surprised at how much detail you've been missing because you were distracted by a voice in your ear. Level 3, the chair test, days 5 to 7. This is the hardest one. Find a chair, set a timer for 10 minutes, sit there and do absolutely nothing. Don't meditate with a guide. Don't pray. Don't count your breaths. Just sit. You will feel an itch to get up. Your brain will tell you this is stupid or a waste of time. That is the feeling of your weakness leaving your body. That is your addiction to input fighting for its life. Every minute you stay in that chair is a rep for your mind. You are building self-containment. As you get better at this, you'll notice something strange. When you go back into the world, you'll be calmer. You'll speak less. You won't feel the need to jump into every conversation to prove you're smart or funny. You become the gravity in the room because you are anchored in yourself. People will feel your presence before you even say a word. They will wonder why you seem so unshakable. It's because you are. Let's close here. The return of the master. Being alone isn't a punishment. It's a masterclass in self-mastery. The world wants you distracted because a distracted man is easy to sell to, easy to lead, and easy to replace. But a man who is comfortable in the silence, he is dangerous, he is clear-headed, he is free, he doesn't act out of impulse, he acts out of intent. He is the anchor in the storm. Remember, the goal isn't to stay alone forever. We are social beings. The goal is to be so strong within yourself that when you do join the world, you do it on your terms. You aren't there to take. You are there to lead. You aren't there to be seen. You are there to see. Who is starting their first 10 minutes of silence today? This is your call to action. Don't just watch this video and scroll to the next one. Put the phone down after this. Comment, "I am the anchor," below if you're ready to build that inner strength. Let the community know you're taking the 7-day challenge. Stay strong, Male Psychology School. We'll see you in the next one.